Good morning, my dear students. Welcome you all back to our social class. We are dealing with economics chapter, poverty as challenge. In previous class, we saw about the introduction, case study of Ramcharan and the story of Laka Singh we have seen. And we have also seen about the poverty, how it is being seen by the social scientist. And we also saw that the social exclusion, that is how they are segregated from the common people, and what is the vulnerability of poverty. So who and all comes under vulnerability? All these things we saw in the previous class. Are you able to remember, my dear students? Yes, so these things we saw, and now we are going to see the poverty in India based on 2020 census. What is the vulnerable group and how are the vulnerable groups they are being there? If you see vulnerable groups, down it is being given scheduled tribes, and you can find the scheduled tribes and the urban casual laborers, rural agricultural laborers, and scheduled caste and average Indian ratio. So this is the bar you can see, which will be denoting the poverty of the people. You see, number of poor out of every 100% from the categories mentioned here. Okay, so if you see, in scheduled tribe it is 51, and urban casual laborers it is 50, rural agricultural labor it is 47, scheduled caste it is 43, and the average Indian poverty ratio is 26. This is how it was there in the 2000 year. Okay, and this will see about the poverty line. So what is this poverty line? At the center of the discussion of this poverty as an issue, you can find it is usually the concept of poverty line. That is common method. It is a common method used to measure poverty is based on the income. As we discussed already, it is based on the income, it is discussed, and the consumption. Consumption means how much they are spending, how much they are earning, and how much they are spending. Based on that only, initially the poverty line was being described. Poverty line has been calculated. But now we can see there are a lot of changes which has been brought. A person, example they have given, a person is considered poor if he or her income, his or her income and consumption level falls below the minimum level. So that is necessary to fulfill the basic needs, then he will be under the poverty line. Yes or no, my dear students? So this is how it has been described before. Okay, so poverty line is in present. You can find in present the formula for the food requirement while estimating the poverty line is based on the desired calories required. So previously we saw it is only based on the income. Now they are adding one more thing in that, that is called the calorie. In the food we'll have different types of calories. If you take banana, banana has 500 calories. Similarly, rice has carbon more and calories less. So like that they are calculating, and if a person is able to get the calorie that is equal, then he will be considered as the person who is above the poverty line, and if he is not getting, then he will be considered as below poverty line. So this is one important aspect. So at present, the average that they have calculated based on the calories requirement in India is 2400 calorie per person per day is required in the rural area. Okay, so in rural area he should have got 2400 calories. Okay, but if he is not getting, then he will be under the poverty line. In the rural areas it is, and in the urban area it is 2100 calories per day you should have secured. Otherwise he will be coming under the poverty line. Why they are including these food requirement as calorie is that needs the improvement of their nutritional values. That is why it is included next to income. Okay, my dear students. Next, if you see, since long back you can find that the people living in the rural areas, they are engaging themselves in lot of physical work. You see, they are doing manual work more than the rural area, sorry, urban area people. Okay, so what happens here is that the people engaged in the rural areas do lot of work, so calories required for them is more higher comparing to the urban areas. So that is why it has been described for the rural area it is 2400 calories and the urban area it is 2100 calories. Okay, so higher physical effort has been put by the people living in the rural area, so that is why it is so. You see the estimate that is being given about the poverty in India, it is also known as the Tendulkar method of calculation. Okay, so as it is also known as the Tendulkar method of calculating the poverty ratio from 1973 to 74, 1993 to 94, 1990 to 100. So that is how they have calculated. In the rural area is 56.4%. In urban area the poverty ratio is 49.0. In rural area the poverty in the year of 1993 is 37.3. In 1990, the poverty ratio in rural area has reduced still more to 27.1%. Similarly, in urban area also we can find it is continuously reducing. In 1993, it is 32.4 and 1990 it is around 23.6. So combination you can find both its poverty ratio has still more increased in the 1990 to 26%. And number of poor people in rural area in the year of 1973 to 74 it is 261, and 1993 to 94 it is 244, 1990 it is 193. You can find it is reducing. Similarly, in the urban areas also you can find it is 73 it is 60, 93 it is 76, and in the year of 1990 it is 67. Initially it was very small, then it has still more increased in the urban areas based on the poorer condition of the people. Then this is the pie diagram which is being given based on the poverty ratio which has been selected in Indian states based on the year of 1990 to 2000. This you may have in your book if it is your old book. If it is new book, you will not have this picture. Okay, my dear students. So if you see, the next thing is when the poverty line has been determined, the minimum of food requirement, clothing, footwears, fuels, and the light education and medium medical requirement are the most important aspect for them. So etc are also determined, but even though you can find that this is the basic thing, thus the physical quality for manipulating by this needs lot of price in rupees. So that is why the present formulation of food requirement is while essential for the poverty ratio. When they do lot of manual work only they can earn, no, media students. So they are saying that it is important for them to have the food requirement in a proper manner. Okay, so as we saw previously, food items such as cereals, pulses, vegetables, milk, oil, sugar, etc. are being considered as the most important food. Together, this needs a calorie also. So, calorie needed a variety depending upon the age and the section and the type of work that they do. So, only it has been classified as the rural area it is 2400 and the urban area it is 2100. Okay, since people live in the rural areas do lot of manual work, that is why it is being calculated in that manner. So on the basis of 2011 to 2012 the poverty from the person was fixed at that time. It is around rupees, when he is earning around 816 per month in the rural area, he is not included in the poverty line. But now it has changed. So the person in urban area should earn 1000 rupees, and despite along with this his calorie should be required. How much calorie? In rural area he should have got the 2400 calories. In urban area he should have got 200 and 2100 calories. So this is how the poverty line has been designed. And even though you can find that there is also still more things which is being included in this. It is in this way, in the year of 2011 to 12, family size. Okay? Family members in the rural area, 5 members living in rural areas, they should have earned more than 4080 per month. Only then they will not come under the poverty line. If they are earning less than that, they will be included in the poverty line. Similarly, the families in the urban areas needs to earn 5000 per month. Only then they will be included in the uh, above poverty line. Otherwise, they will be included in the below poverty line. The poverty is being considered as an essential thing to periodically calculate. Every year it has to be calculated. Normally 5 years once they will be calculating, and survey is being done. The survey is being done on the NSSO, that is National Sample Survey Organization. That is National Sample Survey Organization. So this is being made compared, making compared between the developed countries and the developing countries also. And many ways international organizations like World Trade Organization uses an uniform standard, like they have to have an uniform standard, no? So for that purpose, the poverty line, minimum availability of equipment of a person should be $1.90 per day. So that is how the World Bank has been saying that the person will be above poverty line or below poverty line. So you can find this is how the poverty is being described. We'll have a quick recap. Okay, my dear students. So we have seen about the vulnerability in the yesterday's class, and I have explained you the diagram of the pie diagram of the poverty in India in the year of 2020. And we also saw what is poverty line. Commonly, this poverty line has been the method which has been used for measuring the income used by based on the income and the consumption that is being done by an individual. Based on that, it has been calculated. So as per now, you cannot do that. So as a person, his income and consumption, when his income is and consumption falls below the maximum necessity of his own basic need, then he will be under the poverty line. Then the poverty line cannot be alone described based on the income and consumption alone. It needs one more requirement, which is known as the calorie requirement, desired calorie requirement. Okay, so a certain kind of calorie should be added. Only then he can do the physical effort of his own, and that is poverty line as described. It is accepted in an average calorie that is required for the rural areas 2400 and the urban areas 2100 per day. This is what is being considered as the basic importance for the person. If you see, since people living in the rural areas do lot of physical effort, they are supposed to have more number of calories. So when they are doing lot of physical effort, calories will be burned and their physique will be very good. So that is the one important thing. We also saw about the estimate of poverty in India, and this is also known as the Tendulkar method of calculation. So it has been different in different books. If you have old book, the ratios alone will be given, percentage alone will be given. If it is new book, you will have the number of rural people, number of rural poverty ratio people, as well as the number of poor people will be given. Okay, so we have seen that the poverty in the rural area has been decreasing. Similarly, urban area is also decreasing, but the number of poor is being continuously increasing in the urban areas alone. Okay, so this is one more thing. So when poverty line has been measured, the minimum level of the food requirement, clothing, food, fuel, light, education, and the media or the medical requirement. Medical requirement is the basic important thing for them. So when they're not getting these things, then it is being considered as a poorer section. If you take food items like cereals, pulses, vegetables, oil, milk, sugar, etc. are being considered as the important essential food, which has a lot of calories. So calories needed variety depending upon the basis of age and sex. Okay, so if it is younger age, the calorie will be burnt very faster. Older age, the calories will take lot time to burn. So that is one thing. So based on that, we have said that rural area has to have 2400 as their basic calorie requirement. In the urban area, so that is how the calorie that is needed 2400 in the rural areas. They do a lot of physical work. So based on the calculation of 2011 and 12 poverty ratio, person has been fixed based on the earning. That is, if he is earning 816 per month in the rural area, then he will be in the poverty line, and if he is earning more than that, he will be above the poverty line in the rural area. In the urban area, he should have earned 1000 rupees based on 2011 and 12 census, but now it has been totally changed. After that, you can find a family which is having more than 5 members. Based on 2011-12 census, they have said that if he is earning less than rupees 4080, then the in a month they will he will be included in the poverty line. If he's earning more than that, he will not be included in the poverty line. Similarly, the urban areas, if he's earning more than 5000 per month, then he will not be included in the poverty line. He'll be above poverty line. So this calculation is being done periodically, normally every 5 years once. It is being conducted by a sample survey under the headship of NSSO, National Sample Survey. Okay, so this national sample survey is being done every 5 years once. So it is being used for comparing the development of a nation. So developing nation, it can be at time. So many international organizations, including the World Bank, has wanted to have a uniform standard for measuring the poverty line. So what they have decided is minimum availability of equipment of $1.90% based on 2011 census. If he is earning, then he will not be included in the poverty line. Otherwise, he will be included in the poverty line. So this is what is about poverty line, my dear students. So please go through the poverty line content and write the important points. Minimum 7 points as homework, and send me, my dear students. Thank you. Have a nice day.